Bharati News.
We are also privileged to have amongst us today Professor K.K. Aggarwal, sir. Sir has been the former chairman, National Board of Accreditation, NBA, and founder vice chancellor for Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, New Delhi. During his distinguished career, Sir has also served as Pro Vice Chancellor, GJU Hisar, for a period of 3 years, and subsequently as the founder Vice Chancellor of GGS IPU, New Delhi, for a period of 10 years. Sir rose to the level of professor at an age of 27 and a half years at the National Institute of Technology, Kurukshetra. It was probably the youngest to have achieved this level. He has also been the president of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, IETE, during 2002 to 2004, President Computer Society of India during 2007 to 2009, and President of Southeast Asia Regional Computer Confederation, SARC, during 2008 to 10. He has also been the chairman of Board of Governors of MNIT Jaipur during 2012 to 15. Sir has been widely consulted by the industry, most notable being his contribution towards the reliability analysis of PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. He was conferred the honorary fellowship by the Broadcast Society of India and was decorated with Lifetime Achievement Award by IETE and also by the Computer Society of India, CSI. Sir is a distinguished fellow at VIF and is associated with VIF activities also, particularly in the domain of education. We are honored to have you amongst us, sir, today. I would now request, sir, to come forward for the presidential address.
Very dynamic, always full of energy, Director of Bharati Vidyapeeth, Professor Hoda. My colleague from ICSSR, Dr. Ajay Gupta, representing IEEE here, Shri Damandev Sood, representing IST, Dr. Javed Ahmed, other faculty of Bharati Vidyapeeth, distinguished delegates, and dear students. I think many of the students may be knowing me as a very frequent visitor to Bharati Vidyapeeth because, as Dr. Hoda said, if I am in Delhi, I am here in any of your functions. Bharati Vidyapeeth was one of the first few sets of colleges which IP University started. When I founded this university in 1998 and we started the first academic session in 1999, there were, if I remember correctly, there were 33 colleges which started and Bharati Vidyapeeth was one of them. And since then, we have maintained a relationship of support to the good institutions. Friends, today we are already running too much behind schedule, so I will not take too much of your time. But I will first of all congratulate Dr. Hoda for celebrating fortnight after fortnight after fortnight to combine so many activities for the benefit of the young students. My dear students, I'm sure you are attending most of the activities, but please remember these activities are done in the education institution with a very specific purpose for you, because we believe that you learn through these activities much more than what you learn in the classroom. A research article is published when you are, say, 40, 45 years of age. A survey revealed that you had learned only 15% in the classroom and remaining 85% you had learned outside the classroom. In such activities, by meeting peers, by attending conferences, by going on tours, by going on vacation, by fighting with each other, whatever, you learn through everything, and that's the beauty of life. that you have to use every activity for learning. You are organizing this seminar, National Conclave today on NEP-2020 towards holistic education. The word holistic is very important in this policy. See, what we were doing over the period of years was to keep on dividing knowledge into compartment and compartment, sub-compartment, so on and so forth. We were always going towards more and more specialization rather than towards holistic education. If I talk about, say, you are students of MCA, we started MCA in this country quite some time ago. It was a 3-year course at that time, and most of the students who used to come to MCA were probably hearing the word computer for the first time. That is the time when we started MCA in this country. And it made sense at that time. But then I think I took about more than 10 years of struggle with the AICTE. Then now MCA need not be 3 years, because now the students who come to MCA know too much of computers already in the schools, and like any other postgraduate program, 2 years is enough. But why I am trying to say is, because of the complete lack of flexibility in our academic systems, it took more than 10 years to bring about this change. Today, NEP gives so much flexibility that we can design various durations, degrees of various permutations and combinations, and so on and so forth. My dear students, I think 2 speakers before me have given the example of a stone where we chisel the stone and get a nice graduate out of it. We as teachers are very capable of crediting ourselves that we are the chiselers to make you into beautiful citizens of this country. But we sometimes forget we can chisel it, but you have to be inside the stone first. Unless you are there, we can't chisel it. So you have to make sure that you are equal partner in education. If you take it as the sole responsibility of the teachers, then somewhere you lose. And I always say, well, glorifying teachers is good. I also like it. I like all these teachers. But asking questions by the students is something which makes a teacher a great teacher. Unless that happens, teachers don't become great teachers. I was reading the interview of a Nobel laureate, Rabi. He got Nobel Prize in Physics in 1943. And media people asked, like Damandev Sood ji done, media people can, bring out stories for everything. So they asked, sir, whom do you give credit for your Nobel Prize? He said, my mother. They said, sir, is your mother scientist? He says, no, she doesn't even know what science is. Then how do you give your mother the credit for Nobel Prize? He says, when the children of my age used to go to the school, and when they used to come back from the school, every mother would ask, what did you learn at the school? Typical, usual question. My mother would always ask, did you ask a good question from a teacher today? My mother would every day ask me when I come back from the school, did you ask a good question from a teacher today? And to impress my mother, to impress my teachers, I used to search for a good question every day. So that tomorrow I'll ask this good question from the teacher and thereby make my mother happy, make my class fellows impressive or jealous or whatever you call it, and teachers impressive. And that curiosity gave me the habit of a good researcher, and today I have got Nobel Prize because of this. So my dear students, asking questions is your right. Somehow, over the period of years, we have left this tradition. I read in a research paper that a child of four normally asks about 73 questions per day. Looks like too much, but then the researchers have found it out. 73 questions per day. Some of these questions will obviously be very trivial. Mama, why do you want me to wear clothes? Why do you want me to go to, not to go to the stairs? Whatever. But 73 questions a day. And I'm almost sure we do not allow you to ask 73 questions entire academic career, right from school to the PhD. That's the problem of education system. Invariably, I say Bhagavad Gita, the most respected granth of the whole world. Lot of credit goes to Bhagavan Krishna, obviously, but if Arjuna would not have asked those inquisitive questions as the first shloka of every chapter, would Krishna given the same intelligent answer, same wisdomful answer? Doubtful. So therefore, my dear students, while we are the chiselers, but you have to be inside. You have to be sure that you are there, and then only you happens. I remember Michelangelo, who was one of the best sculptors of the world. He was once told by his friend, Michael, you have got a beautiful statue made. He says, I didn't make the statue. Statue was made by the God inside the block of the stone. I only removed the extra material, and the God, the statue, appeared in the statue. So students, you have to be statues which God has created in you, and I don't have time today, but I can prove the beautiful statues of the God are sometimes disfigured by the academic systems, which we have to avoid and make sure that you are as creative as God wanted you to be. Today we talk about innovation as if it requires a lot of intelligence, a lot of this, a lot of that. I don't know. I always believe some story which all of you have read, Thirsty Crow. Probably the crow was most innovative person in the world who could drink water without knowing any technology, without knowing any computer applications, without knowing any science. He did not say, raise the level of the water, then only I'll be able to drink. Put a pump here so that the water comes out. He didn't go to the doctor, make my beak longer so that I can drink water. But he found a way to drink water. So you have to find a way to do that. And lastly, technology today enables you to do that. You just saw the documentary on technology. It was the negative effects of the technology, which are true. But there are so much positive to do with this technology today. And it has always been in the history of civilization, whether you want to take negatives or positives is your choice. But technology today enables you everything in the world, your mobile phone itself. I think in this room I have told several times that the computer on which we started working was occupying a size of this room, full room, and its capability was probably 1/1000th time than your mobile phone capability. That was the cultural shock which has happened. So technology today is very cheap, very powerful, very decisive, but how to use the technology will remain your choice, will remain your interest, and you should keep doing it. Technology use is not very new. I still remember when I was Vice Chancellor of the IP University, online education was not heard of, online assessment was not heard of. I remember a student of MCA of my university, after the dissertation submission, she got married and went to USA to live with her husband. And my controller of examination would insist, sir, she has to come for Viva to appear, then only she can be given a degree, because that's written in the book of rules. I said, you want a girl to travel from USA to Delhi just to be asked 5 questions by the examiner? And she has just gone after marriage. Her husband will also travel. So they will spend some couple of lakhs for this. Why can't we ask the questions on Skype? Sir, What did you say, sir? Can Skype be used for asking questions? I said, why not? You can see the student so that student is genuine. You can ask as many questions as you wish to. And she will answer, and then whether you pass or not is again your choice. What is wrong in this? I got it done at that time and made sure that online assessment is possible, can be made use of, can be done. Why I am trying to say, my dear friends, is technology is always an enabler. Technology should never force you to be used. You should force the technology to use the way you want to use the technology. That is where lies the thin line between the use of the technology. As a technologist, I would certainly say technology is great, but if you know how to use the technology. And I remember in the Golden Jubilee celebrations of IET, when I was president of IET, and our Deputy Prime Minister, then Dr. Advani Sahab was the chief guest. I did say I'm a student of IT, but I know I comes before T. So you have to place yourself before technology to make sure that the technology delivers, otherwise it doesn't serve the purpose. So I'm very sure the type of technology usage you have been taught to, you will learn to use the technology, and I will remind you of the last sentence of today's talk. Somebody asked ChatGPT, which is a very powerful tool now, asked a question, what to do when in doubt, blank, blank, blank. And ChatGPT answered, trust your instincts. So trust your beliefs. So friends, despite all the technology available to you, do not allow yourself to be enslaved by technology. Allow yourself to be master of technology all the time, and I will use it the way I want to use it. I will use it for multiplying my effort, for multiplying my outcomes, for increasing my productivity, increasing my efficiency, serving the society. We have to use technology for agriculture in this country. We have used technology for health in this country. We have to use technology for manufacturing in this country. We have to use technology for education in this country. But we have to learn to use it the more effective way. Otherwise, negatives can always be there. After all, somebody who was head of artificial intelligence in Google resigned 6 months before. He says, it appears I have done too much crime in the world by subscribing to AI, and I must now get out. So technology can have both sides, but I strongly believe technology has much more positives than negatives. It is for us to learn to use it. With these words, I will once again compliment Dr. Hoda and his team. And when you talk about holistic education, remember that this is one policy for the first time in the history of this country which talks for preschool education and post-PhD education. We never had a policy in the country which talks of all this spectrum. This is one policy which talks about vocational education, higher education, school education. This is one policy which says 5 years down the line maybe we will not have PCM, PCB kind of divisions. We will not have commerce student, we will not have art student, science student. It will be a mixture of subjects. And my dear friends, it's not something new. When you talk about holistic, it should be your choice what you wish to study. My granddaughter went to the university this year. And I just asked her out of the curiosity. I said, Anushka, what subjects have you taken in the first year? She says, Nana, they gave us about 80 subjects to choose any 4. And I chose chemistry, clinical psychology, data science, and public policy. Now you will find there's no correlation between these 4. Chemistry, clinical psychology, data science, and public policy. And our faculty advisor says, for first 2 semesters, you choose whatever comes to your mind. And thereafter, I will start guiding you what should be done to make your career. So that is holistic. You don't learn by whether you have learned algorithms or not is important. But what is more important is, have you learned to learn? because in life you will have to learn many things after you leave the institution, and you have to be more prepared for that. With these good wishes for you, I congratulate Dr. Huda and thank him for giving me an opportunity to interact with young students of this college and the faculty. Thank you very much.